What's happening, gang? This is Drew Stone, the New York Hardcore Chronicles live. Patrons, this is a patron show. Everybody that's supported, thank you. Eventually, the show will be released live, but I am obviously down in Delray, Florida, still heading back up to New York. But a little special thing we wanted to do today with some friends and supporters of ours. We're going to be talking to Jason and Junior of the band Nobody's Perfect. They have a new release out after many years, and we're gonna get into the weeds with them and find out why and how and all that. Want to thank everybody that has supported the show, that is supporting the show, and is enabling this thing to happen. That said, let's just get right to it. Let's just bring Jason Connelly, who's down in right in the neighborhood here where I am in Delray Beach, Florida, and Junior Biggers, who's in Chicago. So what's up, Junior? What's up, Jay?
What's up, Drew?
What's up, Drew?
How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Appreciate it.
How's Chicago, Junior?
It's getting chilly.
Yeah.
Hence the little hoodie and pullover here, man.
Yo, one Chicago memory that I have is being there in the winter and the wind coming off the water, man. It just went right through me, man. You know?
It's brutal, dude. Like I'm a block away from the lake,
right?
And any day I go out and I walk, any of the cross streets that passes right by the lake.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Brutal. And then on the flip side, Jay, you've been living down in Florida for years, right?
Sunny South Florida, man. Yeah, I got no complaints. A little hot, but other than that.
The weather, the hurricane, you're all right with you guys?
Yeah, it missed me, so I did well with that, Good. Thank God.
We're in the same neighborhood, you and me. You know?
Yeah. Ironic, man. Very ironic.
Yeah, it's good. I'm starting to really get acclimated to Delray and like it. I think it's changed a lot since my dad moved down here, like whatever it was, 12 years ago. Like this area up, it's changed a lot. I'm starting to see how I could end up, down here for a good, part of the year or for good,
Do it.
Yeah, you'll be down here soon. We all do it, man.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Nobody's Perfect, and which is pretty incredible. You guys, I mean, you tell us, Jay. I mean, band got together late 80s. Give us a little background on the band.
Yeah, basically 1989. That's about when we came together, and it was just me and Frank went to high school together, and we hooked up in high school, started jamming, and then came up with a couple of songs, and then we were on the mission for a vocalist, and it's kind of where Junior came into the picture, which is an ironic story. I met Junior at the Crazy Country Club.
The Crazy Country Club is sort of one of those places you don't hear a lot about. That was a venue in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. It was a comedy club that did hardcore shows on the weekends. Small place, but a lot of crazy shows went down there. So that was basically it. Hooked up with Junior there. Got in the studio and started recording our first demo.
Now, is this, I don't know if this is an earlier shot of the band, or is this, no, this has got to be later, because later on you added Chris on guitar, right?
Yeah, this is actually one of the earliest photos of the band.
Is that right?
This is probably actually 1989, probably late 89.
Right.
Because our old original guitarist way in the back there, Joe Gorman,
right,
was a good friend of mine. He was replaced eventually by Chris Barbarian from First
Got
Order.
It. Yeah, like this looks like a like the old, like, let's go take some pictures out in like the park in Brooklyn. Like,
what was that? Fort Hamilton? Was that Fort Hamilton High School?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
I mean, look at the Sergio Tacchini suits, the LL Bean.
Yeah. I'm not mad at the Sergio Tacchini suit at all, bro. Fucking great. That's great. That's great. Let me see. I got another shot. I guess this one could be a little bit later in the game, maybe. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, everybody look. I like this one. This is like the hands in the pockets shot. You know, like everybody put their hands in their pockets.
Yeah, I could still smell the piss that was in that hallway there.
Ugh. Where is that? Lemoore's? No.
No, that was actually right in Brooklyn, somewhere in Bensonhurst. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you guys, and we'll get the first demo was Witness This, right? And when you got things rolling, and you did the demo, who were your peers? Like who were you playing with? Who was sort of in your orbit, Junior?
So at that time, I mean, it was confusion. It was like pretty much everyone that was like in Brooklyn, right? I think it was confusion. Maybe a little bit later came confusion, but it was Life of Agony,
Sure.
you know, Biohazard, Marauder, First Order, you know, the whole Brooklyn crew.
Maximum Penalty.
That's Lament more than Maximum Penalty, I think, a little bit later, right?
Yeah.
But that was like that Maximum Penalty almost hiatus kind of thing.
Yeah. Was Lament after that? I think they did Lament. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So there was that, and then in between that also, right? I think also you know, bands that we played with would be like Enrage from Staten Island.
Sure. Yep.
So if I may,
ahead,
Drew,
Jay.
the interesting thing about the Witness This demo is we recorded that in the Music Building in Jamaica, Queens.
The infamous Music Building in Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah. And it's kind of wild because if you actually listen, one of the tracks on there, if you listen to it, I mean, we had like the window open in the studio, and you could hear like the buses beeping horns in the demo.
I wonder if that music building can't still be there, right? You would think.
I'm not sure, man. I
don't
kind of
know.
doubt it. Yeah.
So Witness This. How many songs was on this? Was it 4?
5. Both demos had 5 songs.
Okay, so this is that was 1990, and then the other demo, the Steps Towards Deception demo, and of course this is the era when you do demos, you know, and this is 1992 Steps Towards Deception. What was sort of the evolution of the band in between 1990 and 1992?
Oh man.
Oh, that's when Chris Barbarian came on board from First Order. Okay. And he basically kind of changed the sound a lot because Chris was a great guitar player. And he came into the band during this demo, and that's when the sound kind of changed a lot. It became a bit more technical than hardcore, I'd say. You know?
Yeah. How come one demo was 1990, one demo was 1992? How come what was the play here? Was it, hey, let's do the demos and try to get signed? Let's try to get, like, the stuff was never printed on record, on vinyl or CD?
Never.
No, it wasn't.
No, never went to vinyl, never went to CD. And it was kind of so, of course, like getting signed was always a thing, you know.
Sure.
You know, small little indie label, local label, or something like that in the area. But it just never happened. And to be honest, like, you know, we were kind of content, and it wasn't prohibiting us from playing some really good shows.
Sure.
You know, kind of going up and down, you know, the Northeast and the East Coast. You know, Biohazard taking us out on a couple of shows. You know, we did Rhode Island. I think it was that Club Babyhead. Is that Club Babyhead in Rhode Island?
That's Rhode Island. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we did Club Babyhead in Rhode Island with them. A few shows with them in Connecticut. Murphy's Law, upstate New York. You know, like it was one of those things that, like, it never really got in the way of us not being signed and having the opportunity to have the exposure and such.
I think this is Norwalk, Connecticut. Is this the Apocalypse Club? I mean, it looks like, look, the Bad Brains are headlining December 11th. You know, Shelter's headlining December 1st. Looks like you guys had enough juice that you were headlining December 4th, man. That's honorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did pretty well in Connecticut. I think Jamie was around back then. Jamie was into the band, so he was helping
Sure.
us out.
Sure.
Another guy, Bill Bateman, was in a band called Resin, would help us out up there a lot. Yeah, so we did pretty well in Connecticut.
Yeah, like, looking back on Nobody's Perfect, I think of sort of that that camp of Hatebreed, Biohazard, Marauder, like that era. When a lot of that Brooklyn stuff was basically, it was hot, baby.
Definitely.
It was happening. Here's another one. I'm not sure what club this is from, but you guys are. I see you're playing with Agnostic Front, Life of Agony, Sub-Zero. It says something Merritt Parkway, so obviously it's Connecticut.
It is, and it's the same place. I think it's Apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's at the Apocalypse. That was a crazy show, man.
That's wild. I never heard of this place. And look at these shows: Leeway, Iceman, and Rage.
I mean,
Yeah.
the best part about that flyer is 50-cent drafts.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
beat that.
I love the directions. Exit 15, I-95 to Route 7, left at Dunkin' Donuts. Right.
Yep. Towards the old Anthrax, bro.
Oh, right. I didn't even see that. That's great. Towards the old Anthrax. If you know where the old Anthrax is, Here's a shot. Any recollection of where this is from, Jay?
Oh, I think that is
That's the Apocalypse.
Yeah, Connecticut show, maybe with maybe Super Touch, either Super Touch or Agnostic Front. I think was that show.
Right.
Yeah. We've lost so many live photos over the years. This is like one of the ones I could dig up, but yeah.
These things, that's why, we talk about it a lot on the show, how like this stuff's important, and for years, like, I wish I would have, held on to some more. I held on to a lot of stuff, but there's a bunch of stuff I didn't, and it just kills me, that I just didn't. I'm kind of surprised that someone hasn't approached you about, let's release both demos, on an unlimited vinyl, or something,
We've actually had that. Some overseas. The band did really well overseas, and
Did you ever play overseas?
no, we didn't. But for some reason, we had a really big following out there, and I got approached like a year ago about doing the 2 demos on a vinyl. We were going through with everything, working on cover art, this and that, and then COVID hit, and it kind of just all fell apart. And,
that sucks, man.
Yeah. So
that sucks. Maybe
Which I guess kind of leads up to like the latest release, right? The COVID release, right?
Well, before we get to there, I want to ask, why did the band cease to exist in 1994? Why? Give us a take on why you guys wrapped it up, Junior.
So I had hit a point, right? Because I was like, I was working full time, going to school full time, and I kind of wanted to just get the school thing done with, the college school thing done with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, the only way I'm going to do this is if I leave the band. Like, I can't leave my job, right? So it's like I got to do this, man. I got to make this a priority, and so on and so forth, to kind of get through it. And that was it. And there was also a change. I think we had a change in drum at the time also, as well. So it's like it was kind of a good time, so to speak, right? To say, let me just try and knock this out and get this out the way.
And then was the idea to sort of take a break, or did you guys really put it to bed in 1994?
the idea was to take a 30-year break and come back with a new recording.
That was well played, my man. Which brings us to the year of our God, 2022, and you guys have a new release, Arrival, which makes sense. And I guess the band is you two guys and the 2 Franks. Is that right?
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah. And when Frank Connelly and Frank Amendola, am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ironically, they're stepbrothers, and they're both Frank. So yeah.
Crazy. So Jay, tell me, like, what brought you guys together again after, 30 years?
So Frank Tillelli, who plays bass for Nobody's Perfect, he had moved down to Florida
Right.
like about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So when he got down here, I was like, well, I wasn't doing much. Thought it was a good opportunity. Maybe me and him get together and jam a little bit,
Okay.
just to get out of the house, get him acclimated to Florida. So we started doing that, just jamming in the studio, and we were rehashing some of the old songs from the demos just for fun. And we started writing new riffs, and before you know, we had like two new songs. And then we were like, well, we got 2 songs. Do we want to push this out to try to do an EP or something? And we started working on it a bit more, and came up with a 6-song EP release at the end. And it was all done during COVID. Obviously, everybody was kind of bored, a lot of downtime.
Sure.
So
what do? You just sort of you sent the music back and forth to everybody.
So most of it, me and Frank.
I'm asking that because I know because I'm assuming Junior, you must have being you must have came down to Florida to do your vocals, huh?
So what happened was, right? This is funny. So, Jay and Frank, they write these 2 songs, right? And they pass them around, and it's like, yo, these actually sound good. And Jay was actually laying drum tracks initially on the first 2 songs that they had wrote. And they passed it around. It's like, yo, actually, it sounds pretty decent, man. It's pretty cool. It's like, yo, you want to write some lyrics over them? I was like, yeah, I can work on that. So I had some lyrics for what became U-Turn. And I tried recording it, that first track, out of my house.
Right.
And I was like, yo, this I can't get in the groove in here, man. Like this, it's not the same. And it's like, and I tried it a few times and it just never could work. So what I ended up doing was going to Jersey. So then they wrote more songs and more songs. It was like a never-ending thing, dude. These guys were like writing machines. And then eventually, Frank Amendola, the drummer, got pulled into the project, right? It's like, yo, let's like go all out and lay all out drum tracks on them. So I ended up going down to Jersey and recording the vocals in Jersey out of Frank's house.
Okay, that's easy.
It was. I tell you something, man. Everyone who is doing this remote, recording and all that, and who can actually get in the groove in their house, with no one else around, kudos to them. I couldn't do it.
Was it? Did you? Was it? It must have been a bit surreal, kind of getting back into it and doing vocals again after so many years. But I'm assuming it was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable, man, and it was like, Frank Tillelli came. It was like being at band rehearsal again. You know what I mean? Everyone was there except Jay. But it was an awesome experience.
And I know you guys did a video. Let's look at the video a little bit. Sounds like you guys picked up right where you left off.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Right? Are you happy with it, Jay?
I'm very happy. Yeah, very happy. Like I said, I did all the recording pretty much here at home. I worked with Frank, and we did all the recording and producing, and then we got in touch with Jerry Farley to help us mix the project.
So Jerry mixed it.
Yeah.
That was a good call, man.
Yeah, which was.
Yeah.
it was great because Jerry really wanted to do it because ironically, Nobody's Perfect was the first hardcore show Jerry Farley had ever attended.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's great.
came full circle with him. You know,
And it's available on Spotify. It's on all the streaming platforms right now, right?
yeah, it's just a digital. It's out everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, all the streaming services.
Come and get it, right?
Yeah, that's
Are you
it.
here? Are you hearing? Are you hearing from like some of your old friends and stuff from the neighborhood? Like, yo, oh shit, you know? I mean, because what's cool is that it's basically it's the original band, so it's not like it's Junior and like four other dudes. You know, it's like it's the original band. So, are a couple people come out of the woodwork, Junior?
Yeah, man, it's been a pretty cool and awesome reaction. There's a lot of there's been a lot of response to we do a cover on that release as well, a first order cover, right? Spirit
Okay.
Within. And there's been a lot of reaction to that, man. Like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. You know, yeah, it's been very, very positive.
Good. You know,
So-
I know. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
If I may, I'm sorry, Drew. I just want to say something about First Order. First Order, maybe a lot of people don't know the band, but this was one of the only Brooklyn bands besides Carnivore. You know, these guys were like 15 years old to put out a demo. They were a thrash band. And Keith Alexander from Carnivore actually produced their demo.
Sure, I remember Keith.
Yeah, and just a great band, man. They inspired us. They inspired so many Brooklyn bands, and they just don't get the credit and recognition. So just wanted to give a shout out to First Order for the inspiration.
Well, it's like we ask on the show a lot, any unsung heroes from that era, you know, and I guess they certainly would be one, you know.
Yes.
I mean, it's incredible because that era, you know, I don't say I'm surprised no one's written a book or done a documentary, but that era of music coming out of Brooklyn was so incredibly vibrant. There was so many bands, there was so many places to play, there was so much going on, you know.
Big
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
tons of bands, like, I won't say that, you know, fell between the cracks or anything like that, right? But there were a lot of shows, and the venues, like you said, you know, Animal Hall, Lemoore's, obviously, Crazy Country Club.
yeah,
You know, there was like
goes on and on. Yeah.
on and on and on, and the rotation of bands that play Social Disorder and oh man.
You know, I look back at you know, I kept like a running like gig list of when I, you know, when we were doing Antidote in like, you know, the late 80s, like 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. Yo, it's staggering. We were like sometimes playing 3-4 times a week. You know, it's like, you know, we were playing sometimes like literally there's a couple of weeks we played 4 times in a week. Man, we don't play 4 times, you know, towards the end, Antidote played 4 times in a year. You know, it's like, you know, it's like, fuck, it's crazy. Now, you know, any thoughts on getting everybody together and playing live, Jay?
Yeah, you know, we've been talking about it. It's just a real challenge because we're in 4 different states. You know,
Yeah.
Junior's in Chicago. I'm in Florida. We got one in New York, one in New Jersey. So there's definitely some hurdles there, but we're talking about it, and we have gotten a few offers. If the shows are right, I mean, you know, I'll be honest with you, I just don't want to play any. You know, I want to play some decent shows if we're going to put in the energy because it's a lot of work to do it. You know, so we're talking about it, and if we are going to do it, it's going to probably be realistically the beginning of sometime next year.
Yeah, well, listen, you know, I'd love to reach out and extend that. You know, we do these Bowery Electric shows once a month, and I'm booking January and February now, and I'll let you know. You know, if I get a banger, you know, I'm talking a shutdown for one of those shows. You know, like something like that. It'd be great to have you guys on board. It would be a great room for you guys to play. You know, it's a free all ages matinee on the Bowery. You know what I mean? So yeah, that would be incredible. So
yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, man. You know, and I appreciate you guys supporting the show and supporting me, man. It really means the world, and I couldn't do it without your support, Jay.
Always, man. Love the show. Love the show.
Yeah,
Man.
I really couldn't, man. I mean, you know, it's all of us together. So yeah, so I just one more time, Nobody's Perfect. Arrival. It's on the streaming platforms right now. Go check it out. They are back almost 30 years later. Anybody you want to shout out, Jay?
Well, I really like to shout out Biohazard. As you know, Drew, Biohazard always looked out for all the local bands. They did a lot for us back in the day.
Sure.
So shout out to Biohazard, shout out to First Order, shout out to Drew, New York Hardcore Chronicles.
Thanks.
Everybody in the scene, man. Appreciate anybody who gives the time to give us a listen with the new project.
Right on. Junior?
Same, bro. Same. Like, look, I want to shout out a couple of people, man.
Please.
Hoya, right? Because I know Hoya showed us some love. I mean, these are guys I used to hang out with, and haven't like really caught up with them in a minute until we did this release, right? So I want to shout out Hoya. Isaac, I saw Isaac. He was here in Florida with Scarhead. Gosh, a few months ago. Haven't seen him in forever, so it was great to see him. So I want to shout him out. Mm-hmm. My apologies to the Madball crew. I wanted to go out to Riot Fest, but I'm just not down with that all-day festival craziness.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Me neither.
I'm getting too old for that, bro. Standing on my feet for freaking 6-7 hours.
Okay. Can I ask you, being a bit of a boxing fan, I'm looking at that photo in the back there. Is that Ken Norton and Muhammad Ali?
It is. It is. It's Ken Norton, Muhammad Ali, and it's autographed and signed by Ken Norton.
Is that right?
It is, yeah, man.
Ken Norton, who beat Ali in that first fight, broke his jaw. Ali beat him in the second fight. And truth be told, if you give that third fight a look at Yankee Stadium, man, you'd almost think that Ken Norton really should have got the decision.
This was my father's favorite fight. It was one of his favorite Ali fights.
Is that which? Do you know which fight that is?
That's the first one.
The very first one.
Yeah.
Ken Norton was he was just in incredible shape. He was incredibly. He kept coming, man. He didn't have the most incredible skill set, but he was in such great shape.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
That said, hey, thanks a lot. Thanks again, guys. And, Jay, I'll talk to you soon. And hopefully, I'll see you down here in Delray, And,
man, maybe I run into you in Publix, man.
I'm going back Thursday. We're playing, Incendiary Device, we're flying out west. We're playing Seattle and Portland next weekend with a couple of bands, including Fang. And we're playing Crash Fest in Portland with The Take. Which is, Scott Roberts, who was in Biohazard, and Will Shepler, who was in Agnostic Front and Madball, so we love playing with those guys. So, Junior, thanks a lot. I'll talk to you soon.
You got it.
Take care, you guys.
Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Well, there you have it, patrons. I hope you enjoyed this little quickie here. Thank you all so much for your support. If you're watching this and you're not on Patreon, please support the show. And can't do it without you, man. So that said, thanks a lot, everybody. Until next time, do good things, and good things will come to you.